I'll be the first one to tell you to keep your hype levels in check, but Xbox's showcase this past weekend hit all of the right notes for me. It was exactly what Xbox needed to reignite the brand and confidence in its games lineup that we just haven't seen since the Xbox 360 era. It's taken a long time to get there. Too long, many might argue. But all of the years of investment that Xbox has made seems to finally be coming to fruition. Their ultimate goal is to deliver a new first-party game every quarter to the platform, and with 35 plus studios now, the publisher is in position to start achieving this. I tend to be an optimist when it comes to Xbox. We have so many games to play on any given day that I've routinely said that Xbox just needs to give their studios time to cook. If they want to compete with the likes of Sony and Nintendo in the first-party realm, they need to give these studios the time and resources to do it. It's easy to forget that Microsoft's acquisition spree only started in 2018, with the likes of Ninja Theory, Playground Games, Undead Labs, Compulsion Games, Obsidian, and inXile Entertainment. Not long after, the COVID-19 pandemic would begin, with studios suddenly having to shift their entire structure to working from home. AAA games often take 4 to 5 years to develop now, and that's without a pandemic disrupting everything, along with Xbox needing to staff these smaller studios up to hit the quality bar fans expect. For example, before the acquisition, Compulsion Games was just 40 people. As of November of last year, they now have 90 plus people and are still growing. Their first game under the Xbox brand was revealed last year as South of Midnight. In this past weekend we got our first look at the game in action, and it looks like a huge step up from the studio's previous game, We Happy Few. Obsidian's Avowed looked a little rough on its first showing 2 years ago, but the team clearly listened to the feedback from fans and critics, and the game looks better and better every time we get a glimpse of it. Reports of development troubles with Perfect Dark have been swirling around the game for years now, and this weekend we got our first look at gameplay, and social media reactions have been extremely positive. Playground Games Fable is looking like it's shaping up to set a new bar to hit for Western RPGs visually. I know, visuals don't make a good game, stick with me here. Looking even further, Xbox has given us a solid roadmap even beyond 2025 with games like Gears of War E-Day, Blade, State of Decay 3, Everwild, The Elder Scrolls 6, and so on. This showcase, to me, is the most confident Xbox has ever felt. For the first time in a long time, I can see the path laid out for Xbox not just in the immediate future, but down the road as well. That doesn't mean that the road isn't going to be rocky still, or that the games in their lineup will all be critically acclaimed masterpieces. But what and I think everyone wants from Xbox as a publisher is consistency. Consistency in announcing projects and releasing them. Consistency in supporting and continuing to nurture and develop the studios they acquire. Consistency in listening to their fans and implementing feedback as necessary. That consistency will build trust within the brand again, and with it, the confidence that Xbox's first-party studios will deliver. The problem Xbox has had since the era of the Xbox One is clarity. I was worried a few weeks ago at the closure of Tango Softworks and Arcane Austin that history was doomed to repeat itself at Xbox. That fear isn't entirely gone after this showcase either, as Xbox failed to address in any meaningful way during or after the showcase the reasoning behind those studio closures. In an interview with IGN this weekend, Phil Spencer made his first public comment on the downsizing, saying,
"The closure of any team is hard, obviously, on the individuals there, hard on the team, and I try to spend all of my focus, as you said, I haven't been talking publicly about this, because right now is a time for us to focus on the team and the individuals. It's obviously a decision that's very hard on them, and I want to make sure through severance and other things that we're doing the right thing for the individuals on the team. It's not about my PR, it's not about Xbox PR, it's about those teams."
He continued by hitting the usual corporate points of running a sustainable business, making hard decisions, and choices that he doesn't love. But overall, we still don't know exactly why those studios were closed or what success means to Xbox Game Studios. Many are rightfully concerned about the future of Ninja Theory after Hellblade 2, for example. It's one thing to be excited about the games Xbox has announced, but until we get our hands on them and they release, it's just that, excitement. I'm under no illusion about Xbox's recent track record, so don't take this video as me hand-waving any of the past. It took Sony a long time to develop this confidence with their studios. They've been so consistent for so long now, we often tend to forget just how rough the PS3 was for most of its life cycle. It was only during the last few years of that generation that we got the Sony that we have today, with releases like Infamous 2, Uncharted 2, The Last of Us, Resistance 3, and so on. And that was without having an entire brand identity crisis, having to essentially clean house of out-of-touch leadership like Don Matrick. Today at PlayStation, when a new game is announced from Naughty Dog or Guerrilla Games or Sucker Punch or Insomniac, we're not left wondering if it'll ever release or if the studio will get axed entirely. And Sony isn't exempt from studio closures or cancellations either, considering just in the last few months they shelved Naughty Dog's Faction project, Insomniac Games' multiplayer Spider-Man game, canceled a game from Deviation Studios which led to the closure of the studio, and so on. But at least with Sony, I'm not left wondering day after day which studios are safe or not. Xbox still has a long road ahead of it to get to that level of confidence, but the foundation they've been building finally feels pretty solid. The lineup is looking extremely bright, the excitement is there, now they just need to deliver the games and show they're in it for the long haul with the studios they've acquired. I certainly hope I don't have to eat an entire crow after making this video, but I guess you gotta try everything once.
This video is sponsored by My Lovely Empress, a narrative-driven kingdom management game inspired by a mix of East and Southeast Asian mythology. Head on over to Steam now to wishlist My Lovely Empress and play the demo today.
Hey, thanks for watching Unpacked. It's been really nice getting back into making things again after being bogged down in management for so long back at The Escapist. I really enjoyed the Xbox Showcase as a big fan of fantasy action games, and of course Gears of War. I know things have been rough in Xbox land for a long time, but I truly hope Xbox nails things down because competitive Xbox means an even more competitive PlayStation, and that's exciting for everybody. Thanks again for checking out Unpacked. Hope you guys have been enjoying my takes on the industry, and of course, if you enjoy all the things that we do at Second Win, the best way to support us is joining us over on Patreon. I know you probably get tired of me saying that, but it seriously is so important to what we do here, and we appreciate every single one of you that signs up and supports us, no matter how much you give us. It all helps.